50 students at Olivet College went to the hospital earlier this week after feeling sick. Now, at the time, it was a mystery illness. No one knew what caused it. But today, we learned only 3 of the students actually had some sort of illness. So why did so many students think they were sick and go to the hospital? New tonight, 24 News 8's Tom Hillen spoke with an expert who explains how this sort of thing happens. This is interesting.
Very interesting here, Marley. And part of this is because the college wanted anyone who felt sick to go to the hospital as they were trying to figure out exactly what was going on. But a student we spoke with earlier this week says he only went to the hospital because others were going and he had a headache, but no other symptoms. It started with just a few students feeling sick, headaches, throwing up, fevers. 3 even fainted. The end of the day, students had gone to hospitals near Olivet, also saying they felt sick.
You know, what you're describing is a mass kind of hysteria or a mass reaction.
The college said only a handful of the more than 50 students evaluated actually had some sort of illness. So why did so many say they felt ill? Dr. Rebecca Klott, a licensed psychologist with River City Psychological Services, says a lot of it can be boiled down to groupthink.
Our mind can create for us all kinds of symptoms. We can start to talk to ourselves about having a headache, and all of a sudden we're like, oh, you know, my eye does feel a little bit of pain there, and all of a sudden more and more symptoms show up.
Dr. Klott says we all have a level of suggestibility. For example, she says if you hear a symptom like itching, all of a sudden your mind goes to itching. She says we have seen this play out many times on a global scale.
The swine flu, actually a lot of people began to describe that they have symptoms of that, and it turned out they were just fine. So those kinds of events bring up in us maybe a little bit of fear.
Klott says our sense that something may be wrong with us can often be elevated during a stressful time, like starting school.
I'm not faulting the students in any way if they had any concerns, if they needed peace of mind. We didn't know what this was.
Now, when all of this started, officials suspected it could be carbon monoxide poisoning, but that has officially been ruled out in this, Marley.
Wow, it's amazing to see, and it has happened in other cases that we've seen around the country.
Oh, it absolutely has, and it's just an interesting thing here. We're not saying that anybody did anything wrong. It's just this can happen in situations like this, and so it was just an interesting way to look about this.
I suppose it's better to be safe than sorry.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you, Tom. Well, if